All right, going live. Not quite there, I don't think. Might be though. It doesn't show up for a second usually.
It's up.
Yep, there we go. What's going on, Michael? What's going on, Ash? What's up, Zach Outdoors?
Zach's a stud.
One of your OGs, right?
Yep. He goes way back. I'll be able to say that about High Prairie Sportsman here in a couple of years. I was within 100 subscribers on that one.
I was pretty low too. I don't know if it was 100. But you can't tell if we're private.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way to go back and see like how many what was your first subscriber and like really manipulate when people came in at what amount and whatnot. That'd be fun.
Yeah. There's a way that you can go back and like look at like a flashback of your channel from like a year ago or a couple of years ago and see like where you were at.
Where's that?
Cool.
How do you do that?
I'd have to Google it. I can't remember. I've just seen it like on some major channels. Like I mean, for us, it wouldn't.
I think I became a subscriber to High Prairie at about, I think it was in the 130 mark with their subscribers, I think.
Yeah, I remember you commenting on our Sandhills ones.
Yeah, that's I've always daydreamed, or I've always dreamed about duck hunting the Sandhills. So when I saw that first video of you guys hunting in the Sandhills, I'm like, boom, I got to see more of that. That's always been a dream of mine.
It's awesome. It's a great time.
Beautiful.
Nice.
So do you
maybe refresh, Michael? Yeah, I think.
How expansive is the Sandhills in Nebraska? Because I know I looked kind of where you're at, and the area I'm familiar with is all around Valentine, which the national park up there is. Oh man, I bet my Fumbles can tell me. He's in here. Is it San Isabel? Maybe.
I'm not sure about that.
But it's up there all around Valentine, and I know that's like how expansive are the Sandhills in Nebraska?
Well, they go from I want to say it's almost north between somewhere like Kearney and Grand Island, and then all the way west to almost like Alliance. If you're any bit familiar with Nebraska, it's huge. I think it's like the biggest sand ecosite or something in the whole world. Is kind of what they say, but I couldn't give you like a square acre or mile total.
My feeling is like that not many people know about it.
No, it's kind of a hidden gem, and it's great for fishing and hunting, and no one really duck hunts it at all, except for like locals. But,
so I was gonna say, in your videos, it didn't look like you guys had much competition for your spots.
We were the only ones there, and we hunted pretty much the whole month of October every weekend there. The only people we saw were 2 fishermen the whole time.
Oh wow!
Now, those were public spots.
Yeah. Yep.
So have you been up around Valentine to that area?
I've been up there a few times. Probably gonna make a trip up there, go fishing here in a couple weeks. There's a Merritt Reservoir. It's a big lake up in that area.
Yeah, that's right around where we fish. We camped out there before, but we camp at Big Alkali, and then we fish basically a lot of the little natural lakes in between Big Alkali and Merritt, essentially.
Okay.
So your area, does that look pretty similar to that area?
Yeah, it doesn't really change too much. It's, just little lakes here and there scattered everywhere. And we hunted 2 different areas that were probably about 100 miles apart up in the Sandhills. And we're still in the same region, but we just tried different lakes out. And sometimes like one day we went out and we only got 1, and the other days we did pretty good. So.
And Jordan, I'm hijacking the intro. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Set it up however you want to set it up. And then, I just have so many questions. I mean, this area is so special to my heart that I'm just like, but I need to let you set things up and stuff. So I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. Forgive me.
That's fine. I think the picture I did something there. Okay. There we go. Video will be back in a second, guys. All right. I think this would be a good time to run the intro. So,
Do it.
Hey guys, I'm Jordan Fromer. I believe in hunting hard, hunting smart, and having a fun time while doing it. And shooting limits, well, that's just the icing on the cake. I revel in the journey just as much as the successes it brings. From ducks to dogs to decoys and guns, we'll be talking tactics, strategies, and what it takes to get the job done. Load up and take aim. This is the Duck Gun Podcast.
all right, what's going on, guys? Thanks for joining us. So today I got freelance co-hosting with me, per usual, and we got Matt from High Prairie Sportsman. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. So far we know you're you hunt the sandhills and you're from Nebraska. So I'll let you take it from there.
All right. Yeah. So originally grew up in eastern Nebraska. Went to school at the university and then got a job out in western Nebraska where I've been the last 3 years. So kind of been scouting this area, learning the whole new area. And this is like, I describe it as a waterfowl mecca. It's just great out here. There's just so much spots for ducks and geese to come, they just all come through this area. It's a really big contrast to like the eastern side of the state. But
yeah, I didn't know. Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
So kind of came up with this idea, me and a buddy back in college, and we started out as Husker hunters and didn't really go anywhere. We just posted a few pictures on Facebook every now and then got busy and just kind of forgot about it, put it on the back burner until last year, and we just rebranded it, and now here we are. So
there you go.
Finally, yep. Got some GoPros and just kind of learning on the go.
So this has been your first year putting out content, correct?
For video wise, yeah, this is my first year. We have pictures from like 2012, but they weren't, very good quality or anything. But yeah, video, I've been learning this all on the fly. Started with one last August, bought another one before the duck season started, and then we got 3 cameras, I think. So
nice. Yeah, one thing that I've been a big fan of yours is like, along with the duck hunting, you have the pheasant hunting as well.
Oh yeah, yep. There's a lot of roosters out here in this country too. They're fun when you get them.
So is there a lot of farm ground around there, or is it mostly grazing of cows?
Well, where I'm at, I'm in Ogallala, Nebraska, so it's kind of a contrast of both. So you go north of like the river here, and it's all the ranching stuff, and you go south, and it's more of the wheat fields and corn fields and stuff. So we kind of get the best of both worlds in that aspect.
If I can, I think we might need to like pause the interview for a second. We're having a little bit of feedback from you over there, Matt.
Okay.
I don't know if you have like, like the headphones that come with like an iPhone, have like a little mic on them or anything like that.
Yeah.
If we can try that maybe, because we're getting a little bit of feedback when we talk. I think it's your computer trying to cancel the echoing. Let's give it a shot.
That ain't better?
No. What do you think, Elliot?
I'm still hearing it. Talk again.
Hello?
Yeah,
I think it's when we talk. I'm not sure.
Hello?
Yeah.
I was hearing it when he talked. You're hearing it now?
No, I'm not hearing it now. Okay, yeah, let's all right. Sorry for the small pause. Let's just jump right back into it. So I don't remember what we were on.
Well, dude, I think we're just talking about his general area a little bit, and my experience and what made me so excited about your YouTube channels. Like I said, we started going up to the Sandhills because it was the closest place that we could catch pike from where we were at. We did a Minnesota-Canada trip. My Fumbles and I did, and got addicted to catching pike. So he got to looking around, and he's like, I think we can go catch some pike up here at this certain spot. And we didn't know what it looked like. We'd never been up there. So we went up there. I was about 18 or 19. We went up there fishing for pike, and I ended up catching like a 6-pound bass that I still have on my wall, and just the area is so phenomenally beautiful. I mean, it is. I just can't even describe how beautiful that area is. His videos don't even do it justice, because if you get up on the top of those hills, you can just see these sand hills that just seem like they go on forever. It's really a fantastic place. So we did that a couple years, and then we decided we were going to go up and hunt sharptails and prairie chickens up there. We did that for a couple years. So we've been going up to that area, ever since, I don't know, 20, 25 years. And I'd always daydreamed about duck hunting up there on the exact type of locations that I saw on your YouTube channel. So yeah, I got to get up there with you sometime and get in on that. Now, I saw my dad already ask a question. This is a good one. Now, up there, you've got your shallow, natural. It looks like that's what you guys are doing a lot of hunting on. But when we're up there, there's a ton of like really small lakes and potholes. And do you guys ever hit or scout any of those smaller little potholes?
We haven't yet, but I just found out that I have a connection up in the Sandhills. So this upcoming season, we're going to try and get on some private ones that are kind of smaller like that. Just going to try and one perk about that is the area we hunt, we can hunt the early goose season up there too. So when duck season opens up here in the state of Nebraska, we can hunt the goose season too and get like geese the first weekend in October. So we're going to try just going on some private land in addition to public land and see kind of the difference and see if, see what happens.
Sweet deal.
So, and now correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that basically the very beginning of the prairie pothole region where you get a lot of ducks nesting?
Yeah. Yep. There's a lot of ducks that do nest up there. It's really fun to go up in the summertime and fish, and you'll see all these different, breeding pairs up there and have their little ones swimming around with them.
Yeah, because when we went up there fishing, we'd always go in the spring, and I would just see tons of waterfowl up there, because we don't hardly have any nesting birds in Kansas. We get a few blue wings, and I mean wood ducks will, but other than that, we don't. We're totally void of ducks. We still have quite a few around now, but within the next couple months, they will all be gone. But if you go up to your area, I believe that's the beginning of the prairie pothole regions, where you just have these little holes of water just everywhere. And I always wondered, like, how hard would it be? There's so much abundant water, at least in the spring up there, that how hard would it be to actually get a spot where they were really coming into? I mean, it looks like you guys have been able to do it, but that's always been kind of my question.
Yeah, and if you go south, there's those little potholes. They're like little wetlands that do dry up. If there's rain there in like September, the teal love those. We haven't hunted those. I always thought about trying it, but it always is too dry when we want to go down there. So,
now, how far are you from the rainwater basin?
Oh, that's probably 3 hours, 2.5 hours. That's more central Nebraska, down south of York, Grand Island area.
Because
so do you guys have
not that far off? I mean, we're only about an hour and a half from that area. We're just on the Kansas-Nebraska border, where we teal hunt a lot of, right in the central spot there.
Do you guys have a early teal season in Nebraska as well then?
Yeah, we do. It's a split season. So like the eastern half of the state, or eastern 2/3, they get 3 weekends, I believe. And then out here, we only get 2 weekends, just because we got more of the nesting birds out here and they don't want to disrupt them. Or that's the reason I've been told, though.
Gotcha. So. Yeah. Do you so do you know, or I guess somebody knows probably, but what caused that region to have such unique features? Or
yeah, basically it was wind. So it was flat like the rest of western Nebraska was, and then wind years ago just blew the sand dunes in here. And
now when you say years, do you mean like thousands of years, or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like there was like a big windstorm 20 years ago and bam, you had the pot hills.
No, nope.
Now, did it have anything to do with the Ice Age at all? On top of it?
It might have. I think maybe there was glaciers before that and kind of clean, scrape the slate clean, so to speak, something like that. But
yeah, they say the glaciers are the reason why like Indiana and the Midwest is just as flat as can be.
Yeah.
Is Kansas pretty similar to that? Just flat?
Kansas is extremely flat from about mid-state to the Colorado border. But, well, I'd say about a third of the state is like as flat as you can possibly think of. But then 2/3 of the state is more rolling hills. And even to the east, like we have a lot of forests, and we're more like Missouri here on the east side. And then the central side, you've got the Flint Hills and the Smoky Hills. So it's actually rolling hills without many trees. But then you get out there in the west, and it is just flat. Like what people actually think of Kansas is only about 1/3 of the state.
Yeah, Indiana is super flat as well. Until you get like to the maybe southern fifth, near to the Ohio River. It's hilly down there. And I honestly wish that I lived somewhere that was more hilly, because I mean, flat is just, I don't know. I just think it's more unique to hunt like hilly terrain and, you know, having unique features and stuff. But Indiana's just flat. We got a lot of cornfields, rivers, but everything's super flat.
So is it flat with trees or flat without trees? There's a huge difference in those.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have a ton of agriculture. So, I mean, if there wasn't agriculture, it'd be just one big forest. But, yeah. So pretty much the only place that the trees aren't cut down are where it was too wet to plant.
Okay. See, our flat is like trees just don't grow out there. Regardless.
Yeah, because you got like prairies or...
Yeah, when they first came through Kansas, they actually referred to it as the Great Desert, where it's just like there was just nothing but just grasslands for miles, forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, not a lot of grasslands in Indiana. I've gone to some like I don't know what you call them, parks, county park, or not county, like state parks or whatever. You read like the signs and they show you like what a traditional prairie would look like, and then what it'd look like in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And eventually everything just turns to a forest in Indiana.
Yeah. Well, here, if left natural, the prairie fires take out any trees, right? Even on the east side of the state 200 years ago, you would have no trees. And then once they were able to actually fight prairie fires, more trees were able to grow.
Yeah,
and they planted a lot of them because of the Dust Bowl too. So they planted them along fence lines after the Dust Bowl as well. So you still have those there, shelter belts, they call them.
So I guess let's jump back to Matt. So I guess tell us a little bit about your hunting group. I know you got like one main guy. It seems you hunt with a lot. But you know, I guess I don't know if I've ever seen you guys hunt with anybody else besides you two.
Yeah. So Devin, he's also out here. We met in college. So he lives out here too. So he's always hunting with me. We got a bunch of guys out on the eastern side of the state that you should see. I think they were in one of our later videos. They'll be in this upcoming season, and then a couple other guys are more like fishing guys, and they'll be in the summer's videos. But yeah, it's just pretty much a lot of guys that we know through college and mutual friends.
So is Timber your dog or his?
That's Devin's dog. My dog's Scout, or it's my parents' dog. But every time I go back, I take him out hunting and stuff.
Nice.
But we hopefully Timber can actually go get some birds, so I don't have to go get them this year.
She didn't he didn't retrieve any this year?
She got her first one, but she was still pretty little. We didn't want to risk it with the cold and her. So
Gotcha.
Yep.
You guys seem to go away from the sand from where you were hunting in October. It didn't seem like you guys hit those that much in November. What was your decision as far as where exactly you were going out? Or maybe am I wrong in that? That's what my impression was.
No, you're not wrong. So that was the early season. So there's, we got all our different waterfowl zones, and that kind of dictated where we went. So when I think earpiece keeps falling off. So when that zone, the closer zone opened up, because we got to drive, 140, 150 miles up there round trip. But so we decided, we'd rather just drive 20 or 30 miles away round trip, save us some gas and sleep in a little bit.
Yeah.
You guys seem to do pretty good though. I mean, even when you don't go to the sandhills.
Yeah, it's a lot of scouting. There's a lot of public land out here, and there's a lot of guys, they got boat blinds and, you know, all the works. And we just kind of, not a lot of guys hunt from banks like we do, or kayaks. It's just, yeah, it's a lot. We put in a lot more work, it seems like, than some people. Like, it's nothing to just walk a mile or something with all our decoys and our cart. And I'm not afraid to take off work if I have to get out when everyone else can't.
Yeah, that's fortunate. I noticed that you guys were able to cut off work a lot. What is your occupation?
So I work for part of USDA. I work for the NRCS. Conservation Service helps farmers and ranchers manage their land for wildlife and other natural resources. I'm in it mainly for the wildlife aspect. I like, you know, improving habitat and, you know, helping, if I can save more wildlife for the future generations more, you know, I love doing that.
So having a job like that, does that give you, you know, kind of in with some of the ranchers where you can get private access to hunt?
It could. We're not. It's
not allowed to.
Yeah, not allowed to. I can't bring up my occupation when I'm asking for permission or anything, and I try. You know, I don't do that.
You could just drive the company truck, maybe. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I gotta go check your bird numbers with my shotgun. But no, we can't do that. We have to steer clear of that. So I can't even mention it when I'm asking for permission. And county that I work in, I try to go to surrounding counties so I don't even have that conflict of interest.
Well, that kind of stings.
Yeah. Yep. But luckily there's a lot of public ground, especially for pheasants. So we don't have any shortage of finding places to hunt.
Nice.
That's great. Now, with the topic being starting a YouTube channel, I'm curious. So as you started this year, what has changed as far as kind of what were your goals for the first year, and has your vision changed? Seems like once the season ended, you definitely, I could tell that you were really serious about what you were doing, just based on some of the things you said on your videos and some of the stuff you were putting out. But what was your goal for the first year, and maybe kind of has your thinking changed? Are you more into it? Are you disappointed? Are you happy? Just kind of your overall emotional state about your channel, I guess.
Well, I think we're doing pretty good. So I came into it, I just, you know, wanted to document hunts. I wanted to show the next generation, because there's a lot of interest in waterfowl hunting recently with, you know, other YouTubers coming up, and Duck Dynasty still somewhat popular. And I just wanted to be another outlet that other new hunters could look to, and hopefully, you know, give them some pointers, give them some tips, give them some education opportunities to, and just have enjoyable hunts to watch. You know, I'm very passionate about waterfowl hunting, and if I can bring that and foster that love for the sport in other people, I'm gonna try and do it.
I think you're doing a good job on it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do too. If you could give one piece of advice to someone who's not started a channel, what do you think? But would like.
It's a lot of work. I came into this, I only had my one GoPro to start with. I did the teal hunt with that, and I was trying, like, I only had one battery, so I was trying, you know, like clicking it off and then trying to get it on real quick when the ducks were coming in, and that was a big pain. So I got another camera that kind of helped, got some battery packs and stuff, and learned video editing on the fly. Still not the greatest at it, but it, you know, it just takes a lot of repetition and practice, and you start to learn some tips and tricks. But if you want to be serious about this, it does take a lot of your time, takes a lot of work to be serious, like you guys already know.
Yeah. And when I talk to guys on Patreon, one of the things that I do with guys on Patreon is we just talk about channels and building channels. One of the first things that I ask those guys is, how serious are you about building an audience, and how much work are you willing to put in, or what's your goal? Because some guys who start YouTube, you know, they just kind of like the idea of hitting record and throwing out a few videos, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But then there's other guys that are like, all right, I'm hitting this full blast. I'm going to work my butt off. I'm really going to try to build this thing. And so I really think it's kind of an interesting topic for guys that maybe want to start filming their hunts and putting them on YouTube and kind of identifying your goals and exactly what you're wanting from it. I think in anything is really important to know where you're trying to go.
Yeah, and I'd say for anybody who's thinking about it, like, I mean, if you're not passionate about doing it and, you know, enjoy it, then, like, I mean, it probably won't be for you, because you have to be passionate about it and enjoy it, because once you realize, like Matt and Freelance are saying, like, how much work you have to put in, how much time you got to put into building all of that, like, you know, yeah, it just turns out to be a lot of work, which if you enjoy it, then it's not work.
Yeah, that's totally true. If you hate editing and you hate just worrying about all of the off camera stuff, then it's not something that you want to be serious about, because it's gonna wear you down. But I know I think you're the same way, Jordan. When I film a hunt, when I get home, I am so excited to go through it and start editing, because number one, you get to relive the hunt and you get to see it through a different set of eyes. And especially on the successful hunts, they're so much fun.
How many times do you watch your favorite hunt afterwards, after you edit it?
I don't even want to admit.
I was gonna say,
too much.
Yeah, my run of mallard limits. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how many times I've watched those.
Yeah, it's bad when
my family makes fun of me. You watch videos again, huh?
But it's good. It's good. Like, that's one of the best things about it. Like, it's almost like a hidden thing. Like, because it's so easy to go relive those memories. You know, or like, even like if you watch one and it's so cool to see like something you forgot about or didn't think about. Like, you know, I have Chief's first retrieve recorded on a video, and I can go watch him retrieve his first goose. And you know, there's even a part I didn't put in the video, which I guess I was insecure at the time about putting it in there, because I need to share it sometime, because he goes and he's like whining and crying like crazy because he wants to get out of get the goose, but for some reason he won't jump out of the blind. He's just, you know, he's literally splashing his paw on the ground or on the water, and like, I mean, he's crying like forlorn because he can't get to the goose that's just in the water. Like, and it's just awesome to go back and relive those memories.
Yeah. I will say that when I started, it was very easy for me to show stuff like that, because I didn't think anyone was watching. But the more people watch, the harder it is to show stuff like, you know, is he not retrieving a goose? Like I did the Dirty Little Secret video, or how poorly I'm shooting.
Yeah,
it gets harder, but I just remind myself I have to be committed to showing the real, because people, even though you're going to take a little heat on it from the knuckleheads out there, that's really what a lot of people want to see.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it's perfect. I think that, yeah, the longer I do it, the more I realize that stuff is actually good content too. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not gonna cut any of that out. I wish I hadn't, but you know.
Yeah.
Yep, there's some stuff back, you know, my first videos I wish I hadn't sorry, I don't know if my video's messing up here. But no, there's some stuff that I wish I hadn't, you know, not included, or had included, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But now I'm kind of, you know, it's that learning process. You figure it out as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What big change are you going to make as far as your videoing or how you're doing things for next season?
Oh, I'm thinking about actually getting. So right now I've been getting by with just 2 GoPros and then my phone for like stuff. I'm actually gonna invest in an actual camera, like a vlogging style camera. So hopefully, if one of us gets limited out, the other one can grab it and we can get like, you know, nice zoom ups of birds committing or just birds flying by, stuff like that. Yeah. That's one thing I'm looking at. Maybe even getting another GoPro and having some of us just behind us in the blind, so people can kind of get some more of that blind time, just, you know, jokes in the blind, and just get the more of a feel for it.
Do you have your eye on any particular camera? Have you started the process of researching?
I have started, and I am overwhelmed by what is all out there. There is so much.
What's your price range? I've done a lot. I'm not an expert, but I've done a lot of looking What's your price range?
I'm anywhere from like 600 to 1400, somewhere in there.
You can get some good cameras for that amount of money. The only thing you got to worry about, or not necessarily worry about, but to think about, is if that's your price range. Like, one, you want to get like additional batteries, and two, like a memory card, like a high speed memory card with a lot of data, also adds up. And then any additional lenses. So like I have two lenses. I have the kit lens, and then I got they call it a Nifty 50, but that's not the actual. It's not actually 50 millimeters, because I have a micro 4/3 camera, which means the sensor is scaled down. And so when you take a 50 millimeter lens, it actually has to be half that size. So I think it's a 25. Yeah, it's a 25 millimeter lens, which gives you, once it's multiplied back out, it gives you the 50 millimeter lens. So you get the same effect as if you had a full sensor camera with a 50 millimeter lens.
Nice. I've got my.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, yeah, I mean that price range includes the microphone and all that good stuff. So, and a tripod and all that, all the accessories in addition to the camera and the lenses as well. So
yeah, you're just on the bottom end of like a GH5, which like I wish I could have got that one, but like I said, like or like you're saying, like the end of the price range, because I had a similar price range. But to get that, you can get like 120 frames per second. On mine, I can only get the 60 frames per second. So I only can take it down to half speed on like my B-roll with slow motion, where on the GH5 with 120, you can slow it down to 30. So you're getting 4 times slower, which you get like, way better, slow-mo shots.
I would just say, and I say this a lot, and people don't seem to listen to me, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that if you want to get good conversation and good discussion, then you need to go more with the handy cam type, something that you can wear around your neck. Because if you're going to buy a camera that you have to keep into a bag, then you're not going to be getting conversation much. Because what's going to happen is you're going to pull it out of your bag, you're going to use it, and then you're going to put it away. And so if good conversation that you want to get on video actually happens and your camera's in your bag, unless you're willing to say, everyone stop talking right now while I get out the camera, which you're going to lose a little bit. And I have actually done that, but I've said, okay, hold on, guys. But you lose a little bit of authenticity. If you can have a handy cam that's small enough to wear around your neck, then at any point in time, any decent conversation happens, then you can quickly bring it up and turn it on. Or if you have a thought or emotion, you can put it on yourself. And I think it's invaluable. So if you buy like a DSL, isn't that what they're called?
DSLR.
You're going to struggle. You're going to struggle with that. And there are some really, really good cameras that are still Handycam type. I've got my eye on one that's about 800. I think it's a Sony, and it actually has a little suspension system inside of it so it floats on the inside. So you can literally almost run up the stairs and film at the same time, and it stays clear. But anyway, that's my personal suggestion to people.
Okay.
Is I wouldn't get half of the dialogue I get if I wasn't wearing a camera on my neck.
Yeah, that definitely is important. But I'm also a big fan of like the B-roll. Like I love getting the cinematic shots and taking the time to do that, and you can't do that with a Handycam. So it's almost like, for me, I need to do a better job of like what you're saying with the storytelling and having the camera time in the blind. But I love getting the B-roll as well. So I don't know exactly what my solution will be.
I think the solution is having two.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I would like. I want, because I've got mine. There's like a Panasonic. It's about a $500 camera. I want to have that $800 camera, and then that goes around my neck, and then I want to have about a $1,400 camera in my bag. I think that is the best of both worlds. But as of right now, that takes a lot of money.
Yep.
But I think that's ideally the way to do it.
I still haven't decided yet. Yeah, so I got it. Thanks for the input. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything has their pros and cons.
Do the better. And the one thing about vlogging is that like a lot of people will vlog at the end, and that's fine, and that has its place. But you are not going to be able to replicate the emotion you're having at the time by vlogging at the end. If you're feeling a strong emotion and you can get the camera in your face right then, it comes across a lot more. I think it's a lot more appealing because you're actually showing emotion than trying to recreate it when you do voiceovers or talk at the end too.
Yeah, I think thinking back, since we're having this discussion, like my kind of solution this season has been I've been doing a lot of voiceover on my videos, which it works too. But yeah, I think I do want to shift for myself more to have additional vlogging as well.
Yeah.
That's what I like to, set the stage first before I even go out, kind of just do a little intro and then maybe just insert a couple clips of me or Devin talking or whoever's hunting with me. And then, just kind of establish the stage, kind of set the tone for the video, and then do a closer.
Yeah. Another cool thing that kind of I didn't really think about when I started doing YouTube and self-filming hunts is that it's so much easier to share like hunting experiences with non-hunters than it would be otherwise. Like even if you're talking about like family, like, I have 4 sisters and, they're not really going to hunt that. Or my youngest sister came with me one time, but usually they're not going to be anywhere around hunting or anything like that. Just to be able to share that with them is pretty cool.
Yep, I like doing that too. I just pull it up on the TV and show my parents or show my sister. I got 2 sisters too, and they don't really do much hunting at all. So it's just fun. Yeah, like you said, fun to show family and friends.
Yeah, because it's one thing to say it, but like when you show them, it's just such a better way of getting your story across.
Yep.
When I show people my videos in person, I always see flaws. I mean, I can watch a video 15, 20 times. And when I show it to my wife or someone, I automatically start seeing things that I didn't see before that bother me.
Well, hunters are going to overlook that kind of stuff because they're just pumped to be watching duck hunting. But like somebody that's a non-hunter, you're like almost like critiquing it because you're like, oh, what are they going to see that's going to, be different from a hunter?
That wasn't a question you asked me, was it? I was daydreaming on something.
No. It was just the end of it. And, I'm so used to you jumping in and talking. So
I know. I'm in an interesting conversation on the chat board.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's been a lot of chat going on there.
I know.
I guess, yeah, let's shift gears a little bit here. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Facebook group. So me and Elliot have started a Facebook group for the podcast. It's called Fellowship of the Duck Guns. It's linked in the description down below, but we're just kind of using it to, continue the conversation afterwards with you guys. So one thing that we're adding in is, kind of wanting to share your guys' hunts as well on the stream. So, I did a post today. We're not that big yet, but no one posted their pictures. So I need some of you guys to jump in there and post your pictures from the season so we can share them.
Yeah, and what we're really trying to form a little community with this Duck Gun podcast, and Facebook is really, hopefully in time, is gonna get hot with the conversation and the topic, and we would like to form a little community there that's safe and away from the trolls, something that we can loosely control.
Yeah.
But that's the hope. So make sure you guys pop over there and join that so that we can get that rolling.
Yeah, and it is private, so when you go to join it, it'll say like submitting a request or whatever, and then just kind of like, I'm just doing that so we can, if somebody is, I don't know what you want to call them, like toxic or creating a toxic environment, we can not have them in our group because that's not the kind of group we want to have. Because you see that a lot in a lot of big Facebook groups about duck hunting, where somebody will say something and then they'll be like water swatters and like then you know how it goes. So
yeah, for sure. We can wield with an iron. Is it wield with an iron fist? Is it yield?
Wield. I don't know.
I always mess up sayings, and my wife always like what's one that I mess up? Like dead as a doornail, I think I say, and my wife's like, that doesn't mean anything.
I think
dead as a hammer. That's what I say. Dead as a hammer. Dead as a hammer.
That is a hammer.
Yeah, whatever.
I think I can add the link right here. Does that work? Yeah. Guys, click on that link I put in chat. You can go right to our Facebook group, join up, and we'll be sharing your pictures in the live stream.
You gonna do the lightning round?
Sure, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so lightning round, we kind of go over like, just quick questions and quick answers. So, what's your gun?
Well, sorry, you cut out.
What's your gun?
Oh, Remington Versamax.
What's your dream gun?
Ooh. I haven't shot an SB3. I'd love to try and shoot one. I don't know. It's hard to improve on the Versamax, so I love it.
Nice. Shot size for ducks.
Shot size for ducks, I go 4s most of the season. Then at late season, I'll go 2s.
3-inch or 3.5?
3-inch for ducks.
3.5 for geese?
Yep.
Shot size for geese.
BB.
If you could only hunt one for the rest of your life, ducks or geese?
Ducks.
Face paint or no face paint?
Face paint when it's sunny. Otherwise, don't need it.
Ammo brand of choice?
Winchester.
Winchester Super X?
Yeah. Yep.
Beard or no beard?
That varies. I like to switch it up. Beard keeps me warm, so I'll say beard for hunting season.
Rivers or marshes?
Marsh.
Water or field?
Water.
Mojo or Lucky Duck?
Ooh. Mojo.
Morning or evening?
Morning.
Favorite ice cream?
Cookies and cream.
There you go. All right. You actually did better on the lightning round than most people. Most people can't keep it like super short for whatever reason. Like, try to keep it going fast paced and then they go off on tangents.
They want to say how they feel.
Yeah. Like when I did it with Elliot, I think the lightning round took it longer than the rest of the interview.
It's weird because in real life, I actually am not all that talkative, but I get on here and I cannot shut my mouth.
You're talking about what you're passionate about, right?
Yeah, that's the difference. That is the difference. Yeah, that's right. Just like, how do you not have the lightning round questions memorized by now? You still have to pull up a piece of paper for that?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't want to forget something.
My wife is laying it on the chat board.
I was prepared for him. I've been watching these since you started. So.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's it right there. You had a memory. I should switch them up. I'm going to have to have alternate sheets to go through.
We need to brainstorm some new ones. We need to brainstorm some ones to add in there.
Yeah, I guess the viewers probably, if anybody's getting tired of the same ones. I did add the ice cream, though, so.
Yeah, that threw me off.
That threw me off, too.
Well, we got through them so fast. Usually, I'm like, it's time to end the lightning round, but, it was bam, 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 so.
Yeah. I don't know if you said this or not, but I want to remind people that I think that if you haven't seen all of these podcasts on iTunes or Google Play, you can consume these podcasts that way while you're driving or jogging or whatever, and that's probably how, if I was just a watcher, how I would do it, is on a drive and stuff. So make sure that you guys check those out.
Yeah. They get posted on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern, so 7 o'clock Central. I guess don't hold me to that, but I have been posting them every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. The time might change, but I'm going to keep it on Wednesdays. Unless something out of my control happens.
So which one did you post yesterday? Because I know they're a couple weeks back.
That was Passion of Pursuit.
Nice. You guys got to check that one.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and I think what do I have? A couple more at least that we got to post because we had. Oh yeah. So I think what I'm gonna do.
Because we did 2 in one night.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I was thinking about posting just like a bonus podcast and then the Dr. Duck one next week. Just because I don't want to be too far out, we're already 2 weeks out, because if we have let's say we have a discussion about turkey season and it doesn't get posted till after turkey season or something like that. So I don't know. What do you think, Elliot?
We talk about Dr. Duck so much in that one, it probably couldn't be a standalone. I would say it would be nice to have one in the back pocket in case we have to take a week off for some reason.
Gotcha.
To me, that makes a lot of sense. But the extra one we have, what we talk about of Dr. Duck a lot, which I loved that conversation as well. Those two conversations with Passion of Pursuit and Dr. Duck were so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah.
Dr. Duck was such a cool guy. For some reason, I expected him to be a little less personable, I think.
Yeah, he's super personable.
His pictures are so epic of himself.
Yeah.
I expect him to kind of have an air about him, and he didn't at all. He was so cool.
Whatever camera Dr. Duck has, that's what you should get, Matt.
Be ready to pay. Or Passion.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah, Passion of Pursuit. What'd he say his camera cost? I can't remember, but it shoots in 6K.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I know 8K is a thing. I didn't know 6K. But there's no point in shooting in 8K because it's not
that
like...
Passion of Pursuit guy, he said that they're doing this video and they're going to hire like a composer to travel with them so that they can feel the hunts and write music specifically for the videos based on experiencing it. They're gonna pay. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm down to learn to compose just so I can travel with them. Just give me a few weeks. I'll learn to compose.
Yeah, that's going all out right there.
I'll have chopsticks playing in their next hunt. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and so I guess And while we're on the subject of the podcast, we're almost to the 1,000 download mark, which is pretty cool. We haven't been doing it that long, so 12 more downloads, and we're at 1,000. So podcast world's way different than YouTube. You don't just get it by views; it goes by downloads. So you can't tell how many subscribers, anything like that, but. Yeah, so we appreciate your guys' support getting on the iTunes. And if you guys could do us another favor while you're on there, or do it right now. Get your phone out, go to the iTunes app, and give us a 5-star rating. I mean, if you guys think it's 5-star, you can give us whatever rating you want. But that helps us get found in search. And, we're doing our best to produce a high-quality podcast for you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, and we're certainly going to work hard. One of the great things about we're starting off season is that hopefully we'll have this thing running like a well-oiled machine, I think.
Like a dead hammer.
Yeah. I was looking at my wife before I try to say a saying because I know I'm going to screw it up.
I do the same thing. So what do you got planned you got any big plans for yourself for next season, Matt?
Yeah, it's not anything set in stone. I really want to do a crane hunt down in Oklahoma sometime and hopefully get that on video.
Like the sandhill cranes?
Yeah, yep. I heard they call them ribeye of the sky, so I want to try some for myself.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
You can't shoot those in Nebraska?
Nope, every state around us, but not Nebraska.
There's not even a season for them in Nebraska.
Nope.
Really?
You can't in Indiana either.
Yeah, we can shoot them here. We hear them. Do you see them and hear them in Nebraska?
Oh yeah, they're thick. If you go anywhere along the interstate, you'll just see thousands of them.
They sound like what I'd imagine like a dinosaur or something sounds like. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're kind of goofy sounding. Yeah.
I love hearing them. We mostly hear them at night for some reason. I don't see a lot of them, but I hear them over the marshes in October quite a bit.
Have you guys ever heard like a whippoorwill at night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those sound pretty crazy too. There's a spot that I go in Michigan and fly fish, and I'll mouse for brown trout, but that's just like another story. So anyways, you do that at night, and whippoorwill just in this like prairie while I'm fly fishing, and they're just so loud, and it's so crazy. It's one of the craziest noises. I hadn't heard one till just a couple years ago.
And you get them loons up there too?
No.
Okay, I just heard that they make some kind of like wailing noise too.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Huh? I've never heard them. You heard them, Elliot?
I've heard them when I went up to Canada and Minnesota.
What exactly is a loon? I guess I'm not familiar.
Kind of like a water bird.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like a grebe, but
can you hunt them?
No.
No.
They do come through Kansas, but I mean, very, very sparingly. I don't think I've ever seen one. So if you ever watch a movie and they're showing like a lake at dusk or in the dark, and you hear some weird, eerie sounding bird, that's a loon. They're crazy sounding.
All right. Well, I guess let's excuse me. I guess let's open it up to Q&A. I know that the chat's been going off, so.
Yeah, we've already had quite a few.
Yeah, so go ahead and just post your questions again, so we don't have to go back and search through it necessarily.
Yeah, hit those questions up again. I know somewhere in Wisconsin has been popping.
Brown trout tomorrow on the Big Lake. Awesome. I know you're telling me about that somewhere in Wisconsin, going after the brown trout. So I know those are fall spawners. So yeah, it should be a good time though.
Are you gonna film it? I hope he's gonna film it.
Yeah, I think he said that earlier. Mrs. Fumbles is asking where Chief is. Come here, buddy. He's just hiding in here sleeping.
How old is Chief?
He's 2 years.
I've asked this a bunch. 15 months?
No, he's 2 years. Like he turned 2 like February 13th or something like that.
Nice.
They want to know, Matt, what your dream hunt is, or Once Blind Outdoors is asking.
Oh, dream hunt, that's easy. I want to do a king eider hunt up in Alaska.
Nice.
And then other sea ducks, but I really want a king eider. Those things, I've seen some of the videos. They're awesome.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. That'd be fun. I still want to get a pintail.
What's yours, Jordan? What's your
Just honestly, anywhere I can get a pintail. Pintail is my dream bird. I saw Matt got one this October. You got some this year as well, Elliot. And I'm over here in Indiana, and I didn't even see one.
We saw a bunch this year. In fact, our limit's going up to 2 a day next year.
Oh, wow. They have the numbers out already?
In Kansas, they do. They base the numbers on the previous year.
Well, Indiana, literally the seasons for Indiana come out like it's like a month or two before the season starts. Everybody else has their numbers. I don't know what Indiana's even doing. And we just don't have numbers. We're waiting for dates.
Yeah. It used to be that way in Kansas until 2 or 3 years ago. And word is they switched it due to tourism. So people could plan.
Yeah.
That's how it is in Nebraska now, too. It's like 2 or 3 years ago they switched that.
Well, Indiana
I
is...
like it like that because I used to, really sweat that out that they would do something stupid with the dates.
Do you guys hear that on the East Coast that they're dropping the limit to 2 mallards?
Why?
Yeah.
I guess from previous numbers. So East Coast, they're down to 2 mallards limit.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
We were down to 2 in around 91, 92. We were down to 2 mallards here in Kansas.
Wow. Yeah, and I think they talked about shortening their season to 45 days instead of 60.
Oh, that's the killer. See, that's my fear because we're going to hit times again where the duck numbers are dropping, which, they've been at great numbers for like 20 years. And when that happens, the question's going to be are they going to drop the limits or are they going to drop the number of days that you can hunt? And man, I have no problem. Cut the limit in half, but don't cut the number of days. But I bet you anything they cut the number of days, over cutting the number of ducks because most guys only hunt about 5 times a year.
I hope they don't do that because
I think they will. I hope they don't too.
Yeah. You're just gonna lose like people that are on the fence. They're gonna be like, "Well, I can't go," or you're gonna lose so many people in that like 2 weekends where they could have gone, or I feel like if we're already having
more people cutting the limit in half because so many people, just want to pull the trigger and kill. I would say more than half of the guys that hunt, their number one goal is to pile.
Yep.
My goal is just to be out there.
Yeah, I know. That's more and more rare. Hopefully, that's where I really hope that we can get kind of a network of creators that have that same way of doing it. Because I know that you guys in the Sandhills, you guys seem to shoot them in real close and have good ethics. I think that's one thing that we can do with our voices as we grow our audience is try to kind of counteract the, if you don't make a pile, it's not a good hunt mentality, which is kind of runs rampant on YouTube in a lot of areas.
Yeah, they're all trying to get the viral videos or whatever.
And I understand why they do it because you're trying to get numbers, but not that I won't ever put a heading that says something like a limit or something, but I think that it just, it needs to be more depth in teaching.
Yeah, it's not just about the birds; it's about the whole experience, and that's what some channels are kind of lose, in my opinion.
Yeah. Somewhere in Wisconsin asked, what is the most frustrating thing about filming? I would say most frustrating thing, either dead batteries, and so you miss footage that you thought you'd have, Uh, dropping gear in the water and losing it just because you broke it, not because you actually lost it. But yeah, aside from that.
For me, I'd have to say it's setting up. So there's a couple times last year where I was still setting up cameras, and because the GoPros, they don't have a good ISO, you can't see when it's dark out. I just told Devin, I'm like, hey, if those birds are coming in, just shoot them. We'll worry about it later. But so I'd be messing with the camera still, and the birds were all committing, and that's all we would see the rest of the day. So I kind of missed out on the, that golden period. But
yeah,
that it really gets frustrating at that point. But like what you were saying, dropping them in the water too.
I've kind of got beyond. I feel like I just don't get. I just kind of accept it at this point. I'm not really too frustrated by filming. I was at first a little bit here and there.
Yeah, there's days in which I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like messing with stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not in the mood for it.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Some days you'd be like, I'd just rather hunt. But I mean, I feel like I'm committed at this point to almost making filming as important as hunting.
Yeah, there's only one day that I didn't film this year, and that was basically why. I had my vehicle and my wife's vehicle both broke down and had to be towed on the same day, and it was transmissions on both of them. And then I ended up borrowing my dad's truck, going hunting, meeting golden out there, and we shot our limit in the evening. And I was so stressed by the time I got out there, and I didn't even think we were going to do good. I'm like, I'm not filming this. Screw it. And we just slaughtered them within a couple hours time. And it was nice not to film because I was just relaxing. But, a couple days later, I was kicking myself.
Okay. Once Blind is asking, favorite type of duck to hunt from boat, from a blind, wading in timber. I'll let you start with that, Matt. Oh yeah, so, Alaska.
favorite type of duck to hunt. I'd have to go with I like them divers. I like shooting canvasbacks and those ringnecks and stuff. Those are just really fun. I just like all ducks, hunting them, but the divers, they're just really cool. You don't get them too often, so those are really fun. And then I'd have to go with, I've never hunted out of a boat blind. I'd just have to go sitting in the marsh. Although I do think a timber hunt would be awesome. I'd love to do that sometime.
You got an input on that, Elliot?
I equally love. There's something extremely special about a good prairie marsh where you can see for miles, and we hit those in September and October, and I absolutely love those marshes. But then we've got some holes around here. One hole in particular that's been dry for about 5 years straight, where it's not timber like in Arkansas, but it's definitely timber. Yeah. And getting birds dropping down in those holes, kind of with a lot of timber around, is extremely special too.
Nice.
So there's something about laying out in a prairie marsh though, when you're completely covered up in a layout boat and it's relaxing. It is that, man. That is so much fun. That is so much fun.
Yeah, there's too many to pick from me. There's so many options around the country. But my favorite hunt just to go on around here is, I got this little pool in the honey hole. Late season, everything else freezes up and the stream's open. So you get the birds, they have no option but to drop within 10 yards in front of you. And if you can get that, and I could get my full limit of mallards and some bonus ducks, that would be my dream hunt that is kind of feasible, I guess.
Birds get really stupid around ice holes for some reason. You give them an ice hole and they've been using it a couple days. Screw it. They're not worrying about it. They're just dumping it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Compared to stale birds that want to circle 30 times and then skirt at 40 yards, it's those birds are frustrating. A day like that is fun, but so frustrating. We should do a thing on concealment and hide. There's so much to say about that because there's so many. One thing we started doing this year that we'll do more of is dropping one of our first options when things aren't going right. Instead of moving decoys around, is dropping ourselves farther back into the cover, whatever the cover is. Typically for us, that's willows and shooting through trees. And I think that makes a big difference. Most of the time when ducks don't land, I think it's because of us. I think the 9 out of 10 times it's not calling, it's not decoys, it's not motion, it's the movement and the visibility of the guys hunting.
Yeah, and I've always, been a big fan of like trying to get your hide. Like a lot of people just seem to kind of be lazy about it. They get their blind built in the morning, and in the dark you can't really tell that your blind's kind of crap, and then they never adjust after that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it literally, you have so much time. I mean, you don't want to be out there spooking birds, but I've never had a hunt where I was upset because I brushed in my blind too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I've got to do better on myself, because I'm really bad when there's ducks flying, of like adding a little bit of cover. Oh, I'm not covering enough. Another group doesn't do it. Adding a little more. It's like, take the time to do it right when you do it, even if there's ducks flying, and get set. And I'm bad about that. Dan and Aiden are much better about it than I am. Now Dan will just do everyone's blind, but that's such a big thing. I just want to add on a little bit and lay down some more because there's birds flying. But I think taking that extra 15 minutes makes a huge difference.
Chance said that we should get a strike blind, a fast strike blind. You guys know what those are? Nope, me either. I guess I'll look it up. If we missed your question, guys, go ahead and post it again.
Problem with blinds is like that is they have to be mobile. And we try to set ourselves up to be as mobile in every single situation as possible, which is really, really difficult to have all the right gear for every possible situation. I mean, when you're talking layout boats for prairie marshes, or carts to pull boats to portage boats, to white gear for when it's snowing out. I mean, it is so difficult to set yourselves up to be versatile in every situation, but it's kind of the goal, but it's hard. It's hard.
The fast strike blind is just like this V-shaped blind. You stick it in the ground and then you lean grass
like
against
an A-frame,
it.
like those new A-frame things.
No, not exactly. It only has a front, so like you'd put like the grass on the front of it, and it's just like a V in front of you, and it's got like stakes that go in the ground. It looks very mobile, and then you lean the grass against it, and then you just kneel behind it.
Have to look into that.
Good for bank hunting. But something like that, you really need a backdrop. See, something like that is useless in a prairie marsh.
Yeah, if you don't have grass behind you, or if they're circling around you, then you're in trouble. Yeah. So the blind I've been using this year is actually my buddy has. I've talked about it in one of my videos, but my buddy started up a waterfowl company, and they make A-frame blinds, and it's just I don't even know, just an A-frame blind, but kind of like the zinc ones that they use. It's kind of tilted in. It's got the camo that goes all the way around it, and then you just brush it in so you can kneel inside of it, and it covers you from all directions.
Yeah.
What's up, Foul Assassin? Man, we got everybody here tonight. Drake, I haven't seen you in a while. What up, Quack Addicts? Where you been, Drake? You gonna post some videos, or?
I was thinking about him just the other day. He's got to get on it. His videos are too enjoyable. He had all this momentum, and then he's just like, Nyeh.
Yeah, he had some good videos back last year. Yeah.
You know who I'm wondering about is Bob and Nay. They just.
Oh yeah, I think they said that I was watching them as well. They said that they both got jobs, and then they got too busy for it or something along those lines. So
Man,
I don't know.
That's a bummer. I love their channel. Bob's
yeah.
hilarious.
I mean, I think their channel does better than mine, and they don't even post videos.
Well, they lost. I mean, they seriously lost momentum big time.
Yeah.
I missed their videos. They're awesome.
They're goofy. The only video I didn't like is, like, one of my pet peeves is when people eat in the mic. And he had, like, this whole segment where he just chewed food and talked. And I was like, I can't take it.
Oh, yuck. I'll have to remember not to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it like purposefully to be like funny, and I'm sure some people enjoyed it, but I'm like, I couldn't. I was like, ugh. Like, I don't know.
Everything he does makes me laugh.
Yeah, he's pretty.
And my favorite is when she is making disgusted looks at him being goofy. That is, for some reason, the dynamic between those two just kills me.
Yeah, and then they got a dog too. I'm like, man.
And that dog is awesome.
Yeah. Somewhere in Wisconsin asks, most rewarding thing about filming. I'd just say being able to look back at the memories, and being able to share it with family.
I would agree with that. And it's another thing I like is that, it's just really cool to see what other people think of it. Like, you worked really hard on this, and then just let other people see it and kind of critique it. It's really cool just to show like that little window of your life to them and let them experience it, like basically through your eyes, with like a GoPro on your head or whatever. That's kind of the thing I like to see.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the way I always talk about it is it's like really intense, like storytelling, because you can use every tool, like the music, the voiceover, the video you take to tell your story. And, and it's just really cool to be able to tell that story to, whoever you want to share it with.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got anything else you want to talk about, Elliot?
I don't know. We've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes. I mean, it's just fun to talk. There's nothing really I have on my mind that I can think of.
All right. So let people know where they can find you, Matt.
High Prairie Sportsman. We have YouTube, we have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can follow all those accounts. We're also on Full 30 now, which is another video hosting site. It's more outdoors and gun related, but you can find us on all those. And yeah,
I got his YouTube linked in the description down below, so be sure to check him out. Like we've been saying, we're all about the YouTubers who are about promoting duck hunting the right way, and Matt's definitely along those lines. So be sure to check out his stuff there, and hit the subscribe button on his stuff. And we're back on Elliot's channel next week on Tuesday again, with who do we got? We got
is that the training one, or is that?
Yeah. It's Cornerstone Gun Dog Academy.
Oh, I'm
Barton Ramsey.
Yep, I'm pumped about that one. I can't wait.
Yeah, should be a good time. So, I guess that's it for us, guys. So, make sure to tune in for that, and we'll see you guys next week.